Building a personal brand is the best thing that you can do for your career, especially if you are applying for jobs and looking for work in 2024. So first, I'm going to tell you what a personal brand is, then I'll tell you exactly what are some steps that you can take to affect this and help your career now and in the future. So the first thing is, I wasn't even aware of what a personal brand is until I read a book by Gary Vaynerchuk. And this was his second book on personal branding, and it was called Crushing It. The first book is called Crush It. It's a lot of the same content, and if you read Crushing It, you'll understand. But basically what he said is, every single person can become a subject matter expert in the field that they're in and be perceived that way, and they can leverage that to the rest of their career. So remember, your career, your resume, your work history, it's all a story. It's a story of how you got to where you are now, what skills you have along the way, and what you can do for companies. So your personal brand is your name and what you can put out there to the universe for people to be able to know you and for you to get future career opportunities. So first, let's talk about the people that are in the job market and are going to use the personal brand to help them get roles in 2024. So the first thing is, if you don't have a LinkedIn, you need to go set one up. And it's not difficult. It's like a Facebook page, but for work. So you go through there, you fill out your career history, you write everything out, you make sure you have very professional pictures of yourself on there. If you're not, throw on your best top, go to the white wall behind you and take a picture and put that on there. It's 5 minutes. So having a personal brand that starts on LinkedIn, if you don't have a job, begins like this. So let's say you're not a very good writer like I didn't used to be. So what I would do is I would find a topic for my industry. I'm in HR. If you're in marketing, sales, whatever it happens to be, you find a topic, go to Google and say, give me 10 great topics about HR that are common questions for people. Take one of the topics that you can talk about. And if you don't know how to answer about a topic that they list, just Google it. Or better yet, create a free ChatGPT account, go over and say, give me 10 topics on marketing that I can talk about on LinkedIn. It'll spit out some stuff for you. It'll say, okay, on this first topic, give me 5 bullet points to talk about. And so maybe that helps you write an article, you go through, you edit it, and you paste it on LinkedIn. If you are unemployed and you are looking for work, in the span of 5 minutes a day, you can go onto the platform and have something written that shows that you're a subject matter expert in a field that people are commonly asking questions about. Now, that shows you're active. It shows that you're an expert in your field. It shows that you have knowledge that other people don't have, and companies are looking for that knowledge and they're willing to pay for that knowledge, guys. So if all you do is do one post on LinkedIn every day that ChatGPT can give you the framework to help you write out and edit, that's a huge amount of visibility that you didn't have before. And then later, okay, I wasn't comfortable making videos for a long time. I thought about making videos for about 1.5 years before I did it. I know that probably sounds pathetic to people on all these platforms that can put the camera in front of themselves and just talk, but for a lot of people, it gives them some anxiety, or they're just not comfortable doing it. So I started this really heavy about 4 months ago, doing 1 video a day when I got home from work. I pull up in my car. This is in my car. I have a little car mount. I just hit record. I edit it for 5 minutes and I post it on all the platforms across. It's, a 10 to 20 minute tops thing. But what it did is then those videos became something where I could talk to people one-on-one, and I was always showing some expertise in the field. And sometimes I'd run out of ideas, so I'd make a silly video about the chocolate bar that I ate that day, or whatever it happened to be, or a current event that I found interesting, and I'd just give my point of view. And so sometimes those videos did way better than the HR ones. The point of it is, once you do that, you become very adept at writing. You become very adept at talking to people just like this in front of the camera. It becomes very easy because of the repetition of it. Once you get practice at something, it gets easier and easier, guys. So then you go, okay, how could this be leveraged? Could this be leveraged into a speaking engagement? Could this be leveraged into consulting? Could this be leveraged into writing a book or guides that you could sell through a Stand Store link, or linking things up through Linktree, or whatever it happens to be? You can start small and do a lot of steps. But even if you're employed and not looking for a job and you just want to have visibility in your industry, I recommend you do the LinkedIn thing at least once a week. You're in the top % of creators that even post if you just do 1 post a week that takes you 5 minutes. And then if you share it on your other social networks too, if you become comfortable with video, think of all the visibility that gives you. And it creates tremendous opportunities. Your inbox will never be empty if you start to do this stuff. But what that means then is it gives you options, it gives you choices. There is no company anymore, guys, where you can say, I'm going to be at this company for the rest of my life. Very few people get that opportunity. If you can do that and you're happy with the company, great. It's fantastic for you. But most of us, at some point, a company is going to get sold. A company is going to go out of business. A company is going to do layoffs. A company, you're going to have a manager that you and them can't get along with, and you have to get the heck away from them. Whatever it happens to be, people leave companies all the time, and companies have to change personnel all the time. So build yourself up. Have some resources where people know who you are, and you can easily transition to other things. The amount of contacts that I have just made in the last 4 months of posting every day, of over 1,000 people I'm connected with on LinkedIn just from doing these silly posts, once a week. And so it's not difficult to do. So build your personal brand out, and always be adding things to your resume. And something else I will teach you that I learned that is very important is to never stop learning. Don't ever stop getting certifications. Don't ever stop going to conventions. Don't ever stop taking meetings that you think are interesting, taking trainings that you think are interesting, that somebody's giving a webinar and whatever it is. The reason is that I, for a long time, thought I was kind of done learning because of where I had gotten to in my career. And that was a very foolish and arrogant way to think. Because what I learned then when I got around high-level people that were at my level or above is, oh my gosh, this lady's getting a second master's degree. This dude's doing a certification right over there on his lunch hours from his tablet. It was amazing to see people that were very accomplished, and they were always still learning. Because remember, you're not just competing against the people that are in your office at the place that you work right now. You're competing against the people later in other offices that are always trying to improve themselves. So you always have to be doing that too. It doesn't need to be an exhaustive thing. It doesn't need to be something that consumes all of your time, but you should always have something going on to make yourself better, more marketable, be able to make more money from it. So develop your personal brand, work on yourself, work on your professional image, all that type of stuff, because you never know what kind of opportunity that can yield for future growth, for future job opportunities. Like I said, if you do it well enough and you get books, speaking engagement, you're able to write guides, all this type of stuff, all of this stuff is something you can monetize, and social media makes it really easy now. So I heavily recommend developing your personal brand. If you haven't done it, I hope I gave you some good tips to start. If you have some more tips that you think are really valuable to people, please put them down below so I can share them. And if I get enough content on it, I'll make another follow-up video. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next time.